We broke into a restaurant. We broke into vehicles. We would throw crab apples at vehicles. Yeah, I was a delinquent when I was a kid. My name's Dimitri, right? And I'm 26 years old. I'm from Stanley Mission, Saskatchewan. It's a reserve north of L'Orange. I was born in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and there we lived there when I was a baby, like till 1 to 3, and then 3 years old, I moved to Nipawin. And growing up in Nipawin, Saskatchewan, it was pretty tough over there, I would say. We went to a white school there. I was like one of the only natives in the school. There was only like 4 or 5 native kids. I definitely felt like an outsider, but I did make some friends, few here and there. And it was always like feeling not fit in. I wasn't fitting in that school. I wasn't fitting in the community, and that's how it always was. So we always just hung out with my cousins within the community or my brothers. Hanging out with other Native kids, we got into a lot of trouble. So we did a lot of things in the community. We broke into a restaurant. We broke into vehicles. Yeah, I was a delinquent when I was a kid. Like, it's mostly the kids we hung out. I know what I was doing was wrong. I know that it wasn't right because my grandpa would always preach about what is right and wrong. He was the first Christian, a part of my life that I was very close to. And he shared the word of God with us. He took us to Sunday school and stuff, but you know, I didn't know God at the time. I just did my own thing, and we just did a bunch of crimes in the neighborhood. We would throw crab apples at vehicles. We would do all kinds of things like, it's called Ding Dong Dash, I think. Ding Dong Dash is when you ring someone's doorbell and run away. So we did these things. We were just a menace to the community, and they know all these Native kids. We were a part of this skating rink. We always went skating and we played hockey, and I always liked playing hockey. But unfortunately, the rink attendant, he did things to kids, like he sexually abused Native kids, and it was all Native kids. Because he knew he could get away with it, he did that. And I was a victim of that. It was just like this whole thing that put a lot of shame in our lives. So after moving away from Nipawin in 2009, we came to Stanley Mission. Just jump ahead. It's just, I lived a life in Stanley Mission. Like, I partied, you know, in the reserve, there's alcohol, there's weed and stuff, and I smoked cigarettes, and I would drink as a teenager, and I would be out all night. My dad would be worried sick about me and about my well-being with good reason. And then drinking and stuff, I got caught up in, like, with girlfriends and stuff. I had I had more than a few girlfriends, and losing my virginity at a young age was something I did too as a teenager. At age 17, when I was smoking weed, something happened with my brain. So I had a chemical imbalance in my brain, is what the doctor called it. And I went through a manic episode at the time. I heard voices sometimes. I would hear voices. I would see shadows and stuff. Or I would think somebody's watching me. I would hear conversations of people talking. They're talking normally, but I would think they're talking about me in a bad way, or, you know, I was always paranoid about these things. And at the time, it was very hard going through that. I put a lot of stress on my parents. My dad was stressed, and my mom. So when my dad, he sent me to the hospital in Prince Albert. So I was admitted into the psych ward in Prince Albert. I was admitted into the teens dorm. And then before I turned 18, they put me in the adult dorm. And there, I would say probably there was when I heard about God more and more. Like, there was a guy that had walked around with a Bible, and he was a preacher, and he was talking about God with me, and the people talked about God, and I asked them, I said, can I please get a Bible so I could read it? So on that day, when I just got on my knees in my room, I was alone, and I called out to Jesus, just please help me.